talk about the 5 basic roles in a narcissistic family dynamic. First, the narcissist. So we know that narcissists are deeply damaged people. They usually try to hide their insecurities. They have very large egos and have a need for lots of attention. If shown any toxic behaviors, they're known to deflect. Also, they lack empathy. They're just plain bullies. Let's move on to the enabler. The enabler definitely lacks boundaries for the narcissist. They will make excuses for the narcissist's toxic behavior. They also are very protective of the narcissist. When the enabler attempts to minimize the toxic behavior of the narcissist, it looks a lot like, usually you'll hear, oh, that's just what she does. You know, that's what she says. Just don't pay her any mind. Or it looks like, he always does that. Just don't worry about it. A lot of times what you'll find with an enabler is they will attempt to forge bonds. So what this looks like a lot of times, let's use, for example, let's say that you have a narcissistic mother and the father is the enabler. The father may say, hey, I understand that she may say things or do things that are abusive to you, but it's your mother. It's the only mother that you'll ever have. I think you guys need to work it out. To me, that's also a way for the enabler to influence you to not have boundaries just like them. A lot of times if the narcissist is wanting the enabler to reinforce their toxic behaviors to other members or other parties in the family, what they'll do is they'll talk to the enabler and have them come to talk to the other parties. And if you pay really close attention, you'll notice that they're essentially regurgitating the things that the narcissist would say. They sound identical to the narcissist, right? They don't sound like themselves. So the enabler is used to do the dirty work for the narcissist, the golden child. So what you'll see in this situation is you'll see that the narcissist gives the golden child lots of attention and admiration. And that is usually just as long as the golden child does exactly what the narcissist requires of them. This child is a high achiever and is usually the example to the other less valuable children of what they would need to be in order to get the admiration from the narcissist. And as a survival mechanism for the golden child, they usually do what it takes to meet the narcissist's needs. Unfortunately, they usually never speak out against the narcissist. Now moving on to the scapegoat. So the scapegoat usually gets the blame or any shame for any of the dysfunction that goes on within the family dynamic. The narcissist projects their anger upon the scapegoat. The scapegoat usually takes verbal, emotional, and even physical abuse from the narcissist. And usually the narcissist will gaslight and pretend as though none of this ever even happened. Alongside with being the punching bag for the narcissist will usually badmouth the scapegoat in an attempt to pin other parties against them. Some of the long-term effects from the narcissistic abuse to the scapegoat can lead to trust and relationship issues, low self-esteem, and also they're more likely to attract other partners with narcissistic behaviors as well. And last but not least, the lost child. The lost child has suffered neglect and abuse. They've learned the technique of silence due to being overlooked. They usually shell themselves off in an attempt to not be seen or heard by anyone. They usually feel invisible, lonely. Some feel numb, but some feel tremendous fear. Due to feeling disconnected, they usually have issues in the long run with creating intimate bonds. Now that I've explained the 5 basic roles, do you see yourself in any of them? If so, who are you? Until next time.